Chester. There you are, right?
Hello, hello.
Welcome to Toronto, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah? It's all good. Testing, 1, 2.
Fantastic. So, to kick things off, a lot of people here, fans of a lot of different genre of things. Star Trek, Star Wars.
Yeah, as I can see.
Shadow and Bone, yeah. What were you a fan of growing up? As a kid, what was your go-to? What would you race home from school to watch?
Oh, so many things. I mean, I'm recognizing so many different things that I have considered or tried to dress up as a kid. Like, I was the perfect age growing up for Harry Potter. That was, I see. But that was the one where I was collecting stuff and, I did the whole 9 yards. But I see you Lord of the Rings guys out there. I'm one of you guys, really. I really should have dressed up. But I was a Star Wars kid. I was everything. I had the Lego and I would build stuff, and then if I didn't have it, I'd try and make it myself. So, yeah, kind of all of it. This is amazing. Ahsoka out there, Ahsoka Tano right there. Nice. You got a Cap up there, 2 caps. This is great.
Being a fan of things like that, was that part of what informed your interest in becoming an actor? Take us to your origin story.
Yeah, my origin story. Kit Young origins.
Kit Young origins.
I think it was. When I was 3, I wanted to be an astronaut, and then I watched Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks, where they get stuck in space, and I thought, no, that looks terrifying. I also watched Alien and thought, never go to space. And then I saw Empire Strikes Back, and I was like, go to space. That was the one where I was like, oh, not only am I interested in that, I want to do that. And I was like, okay, there's something, that's someone's job. How do I apply for that at the age of, 3? And so I think that was one of my major influences. And I think I was one of those kids who would see an actor in a movie and then go, that person's in that and they're also in that, which means that they get to do both things and live in these multiple worlds. And I was like, how can this one person be in a kitchen sink drama or a detective show and then also be in a fantasy world? And I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. And if anyone can let me do that, then yes, please. So, yeah.
So you recently, at least it was recently made available to everybody on the internet, National Theatre live production of A Midsummer Night's Dream as Lysander.
Yeah.
Not the only Shakespeare production you've been a part of course, but any Shakespearean actor, I always take the opportunity to say, well, okay, which one's next? What are the roles on the hit list? What do you want to play?
God. I mean, they're all on there. I grew up a theatre kid, and then when I went to drama school, I went to RADA, and they kind of put Shakespeare in my hand, and I went, this looks hard. And then kind of found that I took a real liking to it and found that I was okay at it. But even then, it wasn't until I graduated and Shakespeare was all of the jobs I was getting, I was like, oh, clearly there's something on here. And I read all of the plays, and I tried to see as many of them as possible. And so, yeah, I did Macbeth, and I did Julius Caesar, and then Midsummer Night's Dream is the most recent one I did, which is now almost just over 2 years ago. And yeah, the next one's on the list. I'm also starting to get older, so I'm there are a couple of roles where I'm I've got limited time. I'm oh, okay, I'm not that far away from 30. After I get to 40, I probably can't do Romeo, so get there soon. But all
those teen roles in your 20s, the natural time.
Yeah, exactly. But I can't wait till I'm old enough to do King Lear. So I will let you know in approximately 30 to 40 years, and who knows, maybe I'll do it here. That'll be fun, right? It's long-term planning. It's come see me in this room in 40 years, and I will do King Lear for you.
I've got a couple more things for you. Let's see hands if you've got questions. And my friend here in the yellow shirt, you can begin bribing him so that you can be first or next. One of the topics that has been hotly discussed for a variety of reasons on a variety of productions and a variety of stories that have come out has been regarding safety on sets, people speaking up for themselves, advocating for themselves. One of the things that has been a part of joining the Grishaverse is just in the first season of Shadow and Bone, you not only had combat work to do, you also had intimacy work to do, and my understanding is that the way that set was run is the way that it is in the theater. It's all about safety first and choreography and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be because, you know, if you're doing it on stage, it has to be well rehearsed because everyone's going to watch it live, so it has to be correct. But then the thing with film and television is that you have to do it multiple times for various different camera angles, and you know, sometimes it goes right, sometimes it goes wrong. You have to do it until you get it right. So if you're going to be in an intimate scene with someone, it has to be safe, and everyone has to be comfortable because you might be doing things together for an entire day, and that's intense. And same with portraying violence. It's basically a dance. And growing up a dancer, that was something for me that was always, I felt like I could use certain things that made it more easy for me to get my head around it. But also it's teamwork. Like, there's no one person that is responsible for the success. It's like, okay, well, you have the people involved who have to do it on the day, i.e. your actors and your performers. You have the people that choreograph this stuff. You have the director. Everyone is working together to get this stuff right so that you get the best product, so that it works and you as an audience believe it. It's really important that safety comes first and that everyone is comfortable. And then once you've got that, everyone is allowed to have fun. Because it's a cool job. Like, we get to make cool stuff for you guys. And if you watch it, then great, because it means we get to make more.
So on the fun side of things, as a nerd, as a geek, doing a show that as many of us nerds and geeks out there love, as Shadow and Bone, there's a lot of nerdy, geeky stuff in this show. When you got the job, what were you most excited about, whether it was an aspect of the world, whether it was a familiarity with the material?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of things at once, because I got the job and I hadn't read the books until I got the job, because I thought, I don't want to read the books, absolutely fall in love with the world, and then not get the job. Like, that would be too heartbreaking. But as soon as I got the job, I had actually 14 days before my first day. I was like the last person they cast. To the point where when I arrived in Budapest, they had all of the headshots of the actors on the wall, but it was like the empty Facebook profile under Jesper. So it was like I was an unlockable character in a game that they hadn't got yet. And then when I show up for like my costume fitting, they were like, "Oh, you're the guy," and I was like, "I think so. Like, let's see what we can do." And so for me, it was jumping into this world and being. It feels really, really special to be at the beginning of something. I've been very, very privileged and lucky in that I've not only worked in theatre, I've got to be part of the opening of a new theatre. That feels like a very unique experience, because theatres, especially in the UK, have been around for hundreds of years. So to have that experience was really particular, but to be at the beginning of a show when they're still setting up the world, and I get to be part of the discussions where we discover what Ketterdam looks like, and like who these people are, and how we portray that. It's amazing to come on board later on, but I think to be at the beginning when everyone has questions and we don't know stuff, we were all linked together by our excitement and our not knowing, and like we got to make something that we thought was really cool, and I'm just glad that some people agree. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a few. Just, one or two out here. All right, who's got questions? I'm going to turn it over to y'all. The man in the yellow shirt's in charge, not me. So again, bribe him, not me.
Hey.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. So if Jesper had to face either Kierkegaard's wrath or Kaz's wrath, who would he choose? And why?
That's good. I think Jesper would choose Kierkegaard's Wrath. And I think that's because Jesper can never back down from a fight. Like, he loves a fight. Like, that was one of the great things that unlocked the character for me in the book, is that he truly comes alive when the bullets start flying. And that's a really exciting thing to use for your character, right? And I think Kierkegaard is the big bad. So he's like, yeah, I'll take him. I think that's how Jesper would view it, and then find out differently in practice, because he doesn't necessarily have a lot of foresight. But I think messing with Kaz, he can play pranks on him, but I don't think he wants to face that, ever. He's seen it. He's seen people at the mercy of Kaz, and he goes, nah, not for me. I'm good. I'm going to stay over here. So yeah, I'd pick Kierkegaard.
Hi.
Hi.
Milo and
Hey.
I would like to know, what was your favorite scene to film in Shadow and Bone?
Ooh, that's hard. I mean, there were scenes that surprised me in the shooting that meant a lot, and scenes that I was building up to, so I'm going to slightly cheat and say 2. I'm going to cheat and say 3.
You're allowed.
Thank you. Thank you. Like, is there a limit? Like, is there a clunk or something?
Nope, you're not in trouble.
Okay, cool. The first scene that I'm in, where we meet the crows for the first time, there was a lot of build up to that, because that was the first viewing of Ketterdam, it was the first view of the Crow Club, it was the first view of the Crows. It introduces Kaz and Jesper within one page. So there was a lot going on. Some days on set, we would shoot 2 scenes in a day because of just the time limit. That scene we shot for approximately 14 hours, and that's like 30 seconds. Just that intro where it's Jesper at the table playing. There's so much you learn about a character in those very small moments, and you had to nail that. And they built me a chair because the director decided that I should be like leaning back in my chair with my foot on the table, but you can't actually do that and hold it when you have guns. So they built me a chair that lies back. And so I could do that, kick back, fire the gun, do all the kind of stuff that is Jesper. And that felt really special. And then Kaz comes in with a cane, and Freddie and I look at each other like, is this real? Like, are we really doing this? And people are going to see this? Like, it was amazing. There's a scene in episode 7 where Amita and I have a heart-to-heart when she's stitching her wounds. And there's a line at the end where she says, I'll miss you. And I go, I know, I'd miss me too. I'm fantastic. That scene felt very jokey. And then when we did it on set, she was freezing, bless her. It was like -6 Celsius. So we were really struggling. And you can see in the scene, if you watch it again, my nose is very red, like Rudolph red. But the scene felt really emotional because these characters who might never see each other again, and it was the end of our shoot. We had like 2 weeks left. And so it felt like we might never do this again. We think we could do this show for years. We hope we can. But if people don't watch it, or if people don't like it, this could be it. And that felt really, really emotional. And so a lot of the emotion within that is completely real. That one feels really special to me because it's a surprise. Obviously, Jesper and Milo in the train. Like, come on. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I read that, because we got given the first 2 episodes before we went out to Budapest, and we shot a lot of it before we got the next script. That 3rd and 4th episode came through, and I got a text from Jesse, and then 15 minutes later I got a text from Amita, and then Freddie, and then Ben. And they were all just like, so have you read it? And I was like, no, I'm still asleep. Why? And they were like, goat. And I was like, what? And I was like, what, goat? And they were like, you wait. And I read it, and I was like, okay. And we shot that scene for 3 days. Our sequence is, like 30 seconds long? We shot that for 3 days in this made box where they took the walls out for each camera shot. We shot that for 3 days in a box, 4 people with real fire, a goat, and guns. Recipe for success? I don't know. But, like, obviously, that Like that, I can die happy. Like I can achieve nothing else in my career, and that will be a highlight. I think it always will be.
Let's hear it for Kit Young. He's retired at the ripe old age.
Thank you. Ripe old age of 27 tomorrow. Say what? Oh yeah.
Next up, back there.
Hi.
Hello.
So I'm a teacher, and my daughter's teaching me about Shadows and Bones as we watch it. She's
Oh, cool.
explaining.
Yes.
And I was wondering, when you were growing up, was there a teacher who maybe inspired your path to where you are now?
Yes. Funnily enough, I had a really fantastic drama teacher at my school, who, and he, funnily enough, he had taught some people that I had admired, because he'd been around at this school for a long time. But a lot of the people in my schools are very kind of like posh, like English old school. Like the day I arrived, they were celebrating their 750th anniversary. Like I was like, this is an old school. And they're very academic and they're big on their sports, but the arts section, although very good, wasn't necessarily something they bragged about. And so this one guy basically really inspired me, because he was like, oh, you like this? Let's nurture that. Let's feed that fire. And I was very fortunate in that I kept being given interesting things to explore. And he's still very supportive. He comes and sees shows. He sent me a text this morning saying, I had a dream, and it was I think he was talking about a film I haven't done. And I was like, if you can talk to the people and get that made, that'd be great. But yeah, I had some really, really wonderful influences growing up that meant that my curiosity wasn't squandered. My curiosity was nurtured. And so I can be creative in everything I do. That also makes me incredibly annoying to some people. But deal with it. If you don't like what I do, go see something else. Like, I'm not hurting anyone. So yeah, I had some really great influences. Thank you for asking.
Over here.
Hi there, my name is Shanta. I wanted to know,
Hey.
how you doing?
Good.
Thank you for signing my picture earlier. It was lovely.
Of course.
So now that you've done the gunslinging, what is the next thing you want to learn? Is there another type of weaponry or something like that that you want to add to
Eager
your...
to take up juggling or something?
You know what? I can't juggle. I should learn how to do that, shouldn't I? That should be a thing, right?
Yeah, do you have that list of cool things that you'd learn doing the work?
You know, I never really did, but I quickly realized, like, each job I've done, I've had to learn something. So I remember when I was doing Midsummer Night's Dream, director Nick Heitner, prolific director, he said, you can play guitar, right? And I went, nah. And he went, learn. And I went, oh, God, okay. And I had a very quick deadline to actually be able to do that. And I've worked with a lot of kind of coming up through like British theatre. There's a lot of plays with swords and daggers and ancient weaponry. So I actually have quite a bizarre arsenal of ancient weaponry that I can use.
If someone desperately needs you to defend them with a rapier and a dagger,
Oh, I'm down.
you're good.
I got you. Like, my name is Inigo Montoya. Like, I'm ready. But yeah, but the gun thing was new. Like I'd never worked with guns before, and everyone was very excited about me handling a gun, and I was like, you don't know if I'm any good. So that was kind of very new. But I think the next one, I'd love to work with. I've just worked with spears. Give me a bow. Legolas, give me the bow. I'd love to work with a bow. That'd be very cool.
Next up, who's got a question? There we go.
Is there a moment from the books that you're really excited to play on screen?
Oh, how spoilery are we going to get?
Well, this is the thing. We haven't got to the books that Jesper is in yet, so all of those bits would be great. I'd love to do those. But I think I've said this before in a couple of interviews, but there's a scene in Crooked Kingdom that, at the time at least, Leigh Bardugo, the author, the amazing author, said was her favourite scene to write. And it's a fight between Kaz and Jesper when their friendship's at breaking point and everything falls apart. And there's so much going on within their relationship that it would be great for us to explore, and it's so different from the relationship that Freddie and I have. So it would be we really want to go there and dig deep, because it's so rich, and it's, you know, but this is like, I don't know, season 4 talk. Like, keep watching, hopefully we get there. But yeah, that's one that particularly sticks out to me. It would also be great to meet Wyland, though. Like, I'm the only crow who doesn't have a person yet. Can we sort that out, please? Like, please? Yeah, so yeah.
Next up.
Hi.
Hi.
So first thing, my dad loved you in Shadow and Bone.
Oh.
He was like, the guy with the guns, I like him. Secondly, filming a show in a pandemic, was there a moment after Shadow and Bone was released where you just had a moment of, wow, what I did was really, like, just a eureka moment, if I could?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Like, yeah, so we got really lucky in that we wrapped on season 1 like a week before the world ended. I had so many plans, but the strangest thing happened. And so it was like a week before all the lockdowns came in place, and so we felt really lucky that it was wrapped up. But it did mean that post-production took a bit longer, because originally I think we were going for like a Christmas release, and everything gets pushed back. But then, come the time when it was out, I was quarantining in Belfast shooting this movie, The School for Good and Evil.
Directed by Paul Feig.
Directed by Paul Feig, yes. And the show came out, I'd just come off set, I was asleep, and I woke up at, I think, 8 a.m. UK time. By the time it was like 3 o'clock p.m., I was getting tweets being like, where's season 2? Because it had been enough hours that people could have watched the whole thing. And I was like, what? But because I was quarantining and doing this film in a remote location, as soon as I put my phone down, it didn't exist. It was just me getting on with my life. And then I picked my phone up again, and the world is exploding. And it's like, your face is in Times Square, and like, you've been painted on the side of a building in Brazil. And I'm like, cool, Brazil? I've never been. I will have to come now. But that was when I was like, oh, okay, this stuff is global. I've never had that kind of thing before. Obvious case in point is that I'm here today. Like, I couldn't have expected that. And, you know, I'm having a great time. Toronto's beautiful. This is my first time in Canada. I came up here for my birthday, which is tomorrow. I'm going to be here. I'm having it with you guys. And that's cool. Like, I didn't expect that. And I came because you guys were nice enough to invite me. So, thank you. Yeah. If that answers your question. Great.
Hi, it is so
Hello.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I have a very small request and then my question.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all my British friends that got me into Shadow and Bones, and who are all at MCM Comic-Con right now.
Oh, yeah.
One named Bella, who is super, super in love with you. So I was wondering, she is a Wyling cosplayer. She's very excited.
Oh, cool.
So I was wondering if you could say a quick hi to Bella,
Mm-hmm.
and then also tell me if you could be any type of Grisha. What kind would you be?
Ooh. Okay, so is Bella looking in this camera? Hello, Bella. My name is Kit. I'm in Toronto. Why aren't you here? Oh, you're in London. I was there, but I had to come over here. We narrowly missed each other. But sending you all my love, and I'll see you soon. To answer your question, this is a question I've got in trouble for a lot. I didn't expect to. People are like, what Grisha would you be? And I'm like, oh, this is a nice, normal question. It ends up creating wars.
Oh yeah, fandom wars were started for less.
Because people need me to be the Grisha that they want to be. And I'm like, well, can't we just be different Grisha on the same team? They're like, no! To answer your question, I've got a lot of flack for this. I would be a shadow summoner. Bring the darkness. Not because I'm evil or anything, although I've just finished playing an evil villain. I just like mood lighting. That's all it is. Just like bring it down like a kind of jazz bar. Yeah, that's what I go for.
Next up.
It's all good.
10 points to Gryffindor for the wonderful
Yes.
question.
Your hand was up there like Hermione in Harry Potter 1, like, whoosh.
How's it going?
Hey, man.
What if somebody walked up to you and said, "What role would you do for free?" What role would that be? And said you could be any role that's out there. What would you do for free just because you love it so much?
Another dangerous question.
Another dangerous question, right? Because this is like me putting energy into the universe, manifesting at the highest level. What would I do for free? Oh, dude, there are so many.
Or even think of it as what would you clear the schedule for? What would you make sacrifices to do?
Dude, there are so many. Because I'm one of these annoying people that goes, I want to do everything, and then the further I go, I don't go, I really want to do that. I go, I don't need to do that because I've done it now, which just leaves 95% of everything left. I don't know. I would clear the schedule for years and do it for free if you were like, hey, come and be James Bond. Like, come and be a Jedi.
I hear there's an opening.
Yes, so I've heard, right? I mean, but like, or just even in one of those movies, I'm like, give me a Bond villain. Like,
you can be yet another MI6 agent that goes rogue, who
Yeah,
was betraying
like-
Bond the whole time.
exactly. Put me in a Batman movie. Like, I'll be Dick Grayson. Like, do Robin correctly. Like, don't ruin it all the time. Like, I'll be the Joker. I'll do anything. I won't do anything. Or will I? But yeah, that's a good question. I'm sorry I gave you multiple answers.
And, it's multiple choice. You can just pick whichever one you like best. Next up.
Exactly.
Who wants it the most?
Hello.
Hello.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
I am a huge fan of Shadow and Bone. My friends really got me into it. When they found out I was coming here, they said, "You better get young or our friendship is over."
Wow.
And my question was, how was it working with the rest of the cast on Shadow and Bone? And do you still see them all the time?
Well, first of all, congratulations on your friendships staying intact. I'm so happy that this hasn't ruined that. Yeah, man. Like, we are genuinely such a close cast. When we arrived in Budapest, it was 6 of us that arrived. It was Jesse, Archie, Ben, Freddie, Amita, and me, because we're the 6 that are in every episode. And so we were in Budapest for a month before we started shooting. We were kind of doing prep and stunt training and costume and all this kind of cool stuff. And we got really close because we didn't know anyone. Like, we went out to Budapest alone, so we really grouped together and became a family. And we had that thing where, like, the 6 of us, we're like the 6 friends or something. Like, we thought that this could be a thing, like, this could be us for years to come. And then when we had, all of our other kind of mainstays join us, and we had Sajaya and Daisy and Danny and Cal, like, join us, and we were like, this is amazing. This is like a family that's really growing. And so whenever someone's got a birthday, we'll see each other. I've been away a lot, so I'm really regretful of the fact that I've not yet met Archie's daughter, but I'm going to do that next week. Going to see the little girl, because she's now like 1. We're all massively tuned into each other's lives. So, we see each other a lot, and we just miss everyone else, because there's all the crew that we don't get to see. And a lot of us are London-based, so that makes it very easy. Like, count the number of times that Freddie and I have done brunch, you'll be a millionaire. Like, it's a lot. It's almost weekly. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, are they planning a heist? And it's like, no, we're ordering scrambled eggs. We're not nearly as cool as you think. But we're all really, really close. And I will probably message them all as soon as I leave this stage.
Tell them to come join you next year. I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hey.
I was wondering if there's like a specific actor or actress that you'd like to work with one day.
Wow. The list is long. I mean, I've been very, very lucky recently in that I've come across some of my heroes, and they've been really, really lovely to me, and we've kind of created bonds. So, like, within the last 6-7 months, I got to meet Lawrence Fishburne because I've just done a movie with him. And we kind of play two sides of the same coin in this movie. And, you know, he's like the Dumbledore and I'm the Voldemort, so it's loads of fun. But this is a man who's incredibly generous. Like, I like to play a game with people that I know, going like, who's an actor and who's a movie star. And you go like, this person's an actor. They clearly turn up, they do the job, they're amazing at it. This person's a movie star in that, you know, they can't walk down the street because people will be like, oh my God. And he's both. He cares about his craft, does his thing, but he's Lawrence Fishburne. So the temptation to be like red pill, blue pill is like up here. And I've got to be like, no, how are you this morning? Would you like a coffee? And so that's been amazing because he's stayed in my life and he's interested in what I'm doing, which blows me away because I just want to ask him everything about The Matrix and Apocalypse Now. But like, now that I've had these positive experiences with, I'm in the same boat as you, like people that I'm fans of, I now just want to have more of those experiences. So like, you know, I would love to work with Anthony Hopkins. I would love to work with Cate Blanchett, with Viola Davis, with DiCaprio, with a lot of people. So if you can write a screenplay that basically has me, you can give me a different name, but let's call him Kit, this character. And if he could meet every one of his heroes in the movie, and at the end his life is enriched and he's a happier person, then I would watch that, and I would star in it. And you know what? I'd do it for free. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, where are you? Oh,
I'm
hey.
right here, yeah.
Hey.
First of all, Six of Crows is my favorite book series, and you did an amazing job on Jesper.
Thank you.
My question is, who is your favorite character apart from Jesper?
That's not a real question, because it's Jesper. No. Within the Six of Crows duology. Well, I think the problem is that those characters, those 6 characters, are so well written that I think most readers fall in love with all of them, actually. Sure, you might have your favorites, but like, I don't know many readers that go, I love these 2 and hate the rest. Like, you can understand all of these characters in a way because they're all so brilliantly they're vivid. And the one that I'm fascinated most by, I guess, is probably Kaz, because it's just so twisted. And you question yourself as a reader being able to back someone who has such a terrible motive. But you also understand why he does it. And I think that's the route for empathy, even when you play your characters. If you can understand the person, then you can relate. And it's the same for both actor and audience alike. And so I went in, became a fan of it, went, oh my gosh, this Grishaverse thing is really cool. I wonder if I'll ever, oh wait, I'm in it. Okay, yeah. I will find out more. So yeah, probably Kaz, but I'm also fascinated by the really dark. So there are 2 chapters of Pekka Rollins. I want more. I want to know more about this guy. So yeah, that's my answer.
They're telling me we've got about 5 minutes left. I think we can pack in some if we go real quick. Go for it.
I'll chill talk less.
Hello. This is a question. If you could, wait, who's your favorite doctor from Doctor Who?
Ooh.
All the dangerous questions today.
Yeah. I did a couple of Doctor Who radio dramas last year, and I didn't meet him because it was COVID and I was in a studio and he was in his own home. But I had David Tennant in my ears for a day, and that was pretty surreal because I was like, I'm not even listening to David Tennant. I have Doctor Who in my ears. Like, the guy's just asking me how my day's gone. That was pretty special. But Christopher Eccleston was the first one I saw on television. Like, for me, that was my intro, because I wasn't old enough to see the original. So that was my introduction. But yeah, I mean, Doctor Who's just, it's kind of like screen royalty in the UK. Like, For film, you got James Bond and you got Harry Potter, and like for television, it's Doctor Who. Clearly, Britain likes those roles where they can get multiple actors to play them over time. So who's the second Jesper, you may ask? It's still me.
Who's next? Who's next? Oh, over here.
Hey.
What was your job before acting?
I've been very lucky in that acting has always been my job. I started as an actor professionally when I was 13, and then I stopped when I went through like the exam years because my mum and dad wanted me to get good grades. I didn't get good grades. My grades were fine. But I've been very lucky. I did work in McDonald's for a short time to earn some money to get me by. It was okay. But people laughed at me a lot when they were like, oh, you're going to move to London and go to RADA. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, no, you're not. And I was like, we will see. But yeah, I've been very fortunate. Acting's been my main job.
If we go quick, I think we can get one, maybe two.
I shall answer
Look at all these
questions quickly.
Gryffindors.
I'm sorry, I talked
No.
too
Well,
much.
All the Harry Potter, yeah. Hey, Kay.
Hey, Emma.
I was wondering if we all love Milo, of course, iconic.
Naturally.
But goats are notoriously hard to work with. So if Jesper had another pet in season 2, what's an animal you'd love to work with? And also, what is you and Freddie's brunch orders?
What is Freddie the Mind's what?
Brunch orders.
He typically gets the eggs Benedict. And I will normally go for something with scrambled eggs, either bacon or salmon with some good toast. Simple needs me. Just make sure it's... But your real question was something else I've forgotten about. It was about animals. So I got distracted by breakfast. I'm in a different time zone right now. But yeah, I think I want to work more with horses in the show. Because Jesper is pretty great with all animals, but also he's like the Western character. Put me on a horse. Put the gunslinger on a horse. Come on. But also give him a puppy. Why not?
All right, I think we got time for one more. Who wants it the most? Who wants it the most?
One more.
I think we got to go right here.
We got some waves.
Yeah.
Got some waves.
Oh, there we go.
If in doubt and you don't get your question, you can ask me over there. So just know that. I will be around.
Hello.
Hello.
Very excited to see you here.
Oh, thank you.
I do have a small request. My friend Sarah, who loves you, we're both obsessed with books, show, everything. We think you are our favorite part.
Oh.
If you could just say hi to her.
Yeah, well, hello. How you doing? You said Sarah.
Yes, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. How you doing? I'm Kit. I'm in Toronto today on the 23rd of October, 2021. That marks the date for you. Hope you're having a lovely day. Wish you were here. And sending you all my love. Bye-bye. And you did actually have a question as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, what is your favorite party story about the filming of Shadow and Bone? What is the thing you always tell people, some crazy thing that happened or just a funny story?
Oh gosh.
Give us the deets on all the ragers. all the bars you closed down.
Oh, I can't do that because I've got lifetime bans. No, I don't. No, well, we really got a chance to put roots down there because we lived there for half a year and we think we are going back. So, it'll kind of feel like going back to a home from home. I've got my fingers crossed like this that I get the same, apartment that I had because I'm settled. I know where the shop is. I know I can get that. There's a whole thing. But one of the best times that we had actually was our launch party. We had a party the weekend before production started, and I got very, very drunk because I didn't have to shoot that week because they were shooting all the stuff. The first thing they were shooting was when Alina gets ambushed in episode 2 and Kerrigan comes in to save her. So we were like, good luck, Jesse, good luck, Ben, good luck, Simon. The crows are just like, we're chilling. So we had a great time, and we just got to meet everyone. And a lot of the people who've been working so hard in the different departments got to meet us for the first time. They're like, oh, I've been designing the Volcra. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. Tell me about that. And they would tell us about it. And they go, I'm so excited for your bits. And I'm like, great, me too. And they're like, don't mess them up. And I'm like, thanks, I'll try not to. But also, lots of departments read all the scripts and they actually didn't have them. They're like, oh my gosh, the stuff with the goat. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Why is everyone shouting goat at me and calling me Milo? I had no context. But we had some great parties. What was quite funny was all the people who were already fans were watching our Instagram stories, and it was like they were with us. It was kind of like, oh, you came out to this place with us today. So it kind of, the fandom has been amazing. So thank you, because some of you guys have been with us from the day that we were announced to today, which is over 2 years now. And the support of the fandom means that we get to keep doing this. This is a two-way street. Without you, we don't do this. And we do it for you, and you watch it so that we get to make more. It's this beautiful cyclical thing. So thank you. Thank you to all of you. Because this is it. Like, this is the embodiment of our love for this stuff, both yours and mine. So thank you very much. I'm so glad to be here.
So, I've got one thing to wrap us up.
Yeah.
No matter how fast we go through the questions, we never get to everybody at one of these things. And that's the beauty of the fact that you're going to be here the rest of the day. Yes.
Yeah.
You're back tomorrow.
I'm back tomorrow.
So, as he said, if you haven't gone up to see him, if you had a question that you wanted to ask, go up and ask him. What has your first experience been like doing one of these conventions? What's it been like getting the kind of love that you've been getting from across the table all day?
This is amazing. Like, you know what? Shall I tell you the truth? When I arrived, I got my mum on the phone, and she was like, how is it? And she was really nervous. She was like, have you got all your COVID paperwork and all this stuff? Can you get through Canadian Border Control? And I was like, Mum, I've made it. I'm here. It's cool. Calm down. But she was like, so who's coming? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the guy that no one knows because I'm sat between Doctor Who and Captain Kirk. And like, there'll be like 2 people, and I'll find that hilarious. If I'm sat here on my birthday, like, and no one knows who I am, that will be quite funny for me. So I'm actually quite shocked that there's this turnout. So thank you, because, you know, the more the merrier. It always makes this stuff more fun. And this is my first experience of this stuff, so it's quite overwhelming. But you've made it easy, and it's great.
So I've got 2 little bits of housekeeping, and keep those applauding arms ready. Up on this stage right after this, we've got Mr. Ray Fisher from Justice League, Cyborg himself. I want you to give a round of applause to our wonderful sign language interpreters, please. And before we send him off in style, I know your birthday isn't until tomorrow, but today is your Q&A, so I think we've got to sing happy birthday to the kid. Let's do it. You ready? You ready? I'll count you off. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
This is lovely. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, the one and only Jesper. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much. That means the world, honestly.
Keep it going, everybody. One more time for Kit Young.
You have been great. Thank you so much.